Yes, he does.
Yeah,
I am going to try to have the quotes for the front steps for next Tuesday. I've been in contact with contractors, safety committee. We've got.
Oh, that's right. We got holiday Monday, don't we?
Yeah. So
You're gonna be here Tuesday, are you?
I'll be here Tuesday morning.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to try to have that. If I can get those by then, I'll present those Tuesday for awarding. So try to get that done before the end of the year yet. So that's all I got.
All right. Aaron?
Front steps on this building.
I think we'll start with the hard stuff, being the highway engineer's stuff. So we'll start top of her list. She had a team's meeting with Anchor Construction. They did have a question, basically want to know if we were to choose them, how we would move forward. Sounds like contract would probably be the best alternative or agreement. Correct, Kurt?
That's my recommendation.
Yep.
Yeah. They would need to give us authority in a public meeting. So, but yeah.
So yeah, that was her question. It sounds like we got that answered. Next thing, she wanted to just mention, we'd like to make a change order 700 South project for next year for the CCMG. After talking with Niblock, we can change some things to tie things in a little better. And it's actually going to reduce the price by 170,000. She'd like to keep you in the loop. Is there something we need to change on our end, Kurt, with that, since it's a little lower?
The change orders, of course, this is one that's already been approved.
Okay.
Signed. I'm asking, I don't know.
Yes,
It
the
says
contract with
change order.
Niblock has been approved for
Yep.
the 700 South project.
Yep.
So, yeah, there would be a formal change order
Okay.
that we would want to see it. We'd want to bring to them for review, and they would want to approve in the public meeting. And as long as it's not increasing it by more than, I think, 20%, it'll be legal to do. It's just a
Okay.
matter of they're going to want to see it, and obviously we will too. So I would
Yep.
have Niblock produce it. for you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that next meeting. Obviously, we're not gonna have that ready the second, so
Not for
let's,
a second, okay.
yeah, let's put that off to the next meeting. She's waiting on, one item, for review for the BF&S, engineering pavement marking project, the federal project, from NDOT and Ben Bentrip. The estimate came in 3,000 more than we applied for, but we will have the additional in 1176 to cover that. Is it possible to get it on the second meeting if we have it from the legal team and from NDOT for Tuesday? Potentially, if we have all that information.
If you got it all.
I think, yeah, we wanted some dates added and some things like that.
Work order for ERI on call. This would be for CCMG 2026 plans. We got a list of 3 roads based on our phaser rating that we want to do. We'll know the price before the meeting on the 2nd and where we're going to potentially try to take it out of. But we already have them on call for that, but we do want to ask formal approval to use them. She's requesting permission to apply for a grant. CCMG 2026-1, opening in October. The match is up to $1 million. Kind of talked to Kathy back and forth, potentially edit. Obviously, we're going to have to go to a higher power for that. The numbers are high, but the total project for everything, roughly really high is 1.975 million. The roads we're looking at doing is 75 north from 200 east to 75 east by the school, 200 north from State Road 9. It should be to 450 west. She has 400 west. She was a half a mile off, and I'll make sure to tell her that Tuesday. And 250 west from 50 north to 200 north. All those are very poorly rated on our phaser system. So, yeah, I'd like to for Tuesday request for a grant for those. Also on Tuesday, for the traffic committee recommendation. So she did work with LTAP back in June. After they came out and kind of surveyed the situation with the site distance, we're going to recommend to put a 4-way stop in there. We did have Sheriff Harker go out and look at it as well. I did separately from the highway engineer, and it's been a bad intersection for a long time.
Which one is it again?
It would be 600 south, 500 west.
Oh, okay.
It's real bad.
Any wrecks there?
They've had a few fatalities too. It's real bad, but LTAP came out. They did their investigation. That's what they recommended, and we'd like to go forward with their recommendation, making that a 4-way stop. And I think she sent the formal agreement for the traffic committee. If we could do that Tuesday publicly.
Request an ordinance for it.
Correct. If you guys got anything to input in that, if you don't like that, but that was LTAC's recommendation. And when you're there with the buggy and looking both ways, you know, the horse is even further out than a lower profile vehicle. So
How do you get that word out that there's gonna be a stop sign going there? So people, I mean, cause I'm sure for a while, you're gonna have people blowing it just cause they don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I do like what the state does. They put stop sign heads up
yeah.
way up in front of the intersection, put the signs up. How are you going to put any kind of lights or anything on top of them? Flashing light like you got?
Yeah, we could. We did get a couple extra because they're becoming a little more popular, and actually they are helping the places we put them.
Just curious, cause I know that's
Oh,
where
yeah.
the people
Yeah,
travel rather quickly down.
yeah. And before we do it, really putting it out there with the key community members over there in that specific area to try to get the word out ahead of time would be beneficial. Only thing from my side for the agenda, and I guess just talk about fuel bids, highway. Jamie already reached out to Kathy, but I'm gonna make sure it's okay for fuel bids. Open them up on 10/6 at 8:30. I think Kathy had that slot open already.
I added it to the agenda. Can't
Yeah.
get to it right now.
Okay, nope. Just want to make sure you guys are okay with doing that. The rest are just updates. So 850 West is complete between 250 and 450. We got a few kind of housekeeping things to clean up. We got one of them kind of fixed yesterday. The 400 South projects were wrapping up. They're putting shoulders on it now, and hopefully by the end of next week, they'll have it striped and out of there. Our gravel pit processing is wrapping up by the end of next week, so we'll be done with that. We're starting the third round of our roadside mowing, and we're going to start full width paving, spot paving, grading, berming, trees, and drainage for all next year's projects between now and winter, basically. 3 large culvert replacements left. We're doing one today, and the road's closed for 2 days unless something really positive happens that we don't expect. And that's really it. Other than potentially the compost. So we got a couple hours left inside the building, but the exterior is ready to go. All the signs are up, final grade's done. Robbie, we do got all the measurements for the site plan. We'll get that kind of to scale, Robbie, and get it to you and Kathy, and then IDEM as well. But we rolled it off with the roller, and we'll make sure we get that to you. But other than that, it'll be the next step. Got a handful of applicants. So
Yeah.
depending on fees, when you guys actually want to start, that's up to you, but we can kind of go through there and try to pick the best person for the position and move forward.
We'll be working on that.
I think you ought to start interviewing them now so so I was looking at this here. You want large trailer pickup trucks, $10.
That's starting, get some input from you two or anybody else.
I think the lawn services ought to be charged. The commercial people ought to be charged more.
That's, do I have a note on there?
It doesn't say anything about lawn service, the commercial
Forgot
vehicles.
that. Yeah, we need to talk about that.
Landscape.
That's why I have dump
Yeah,
trucks.
landscapers, lawn service, tree service guys, because they're going to bring in, if we don't stay on top of it, that's part of the problem, especially with the logs and the stumps and that.
Well, and local too, we got RMC, Town LaGrange. What are we doing for everyone? So just,
This is, my opinion, this is for the residents right now. That's how I look at it, unless you would do something different.
LaGrange said if
we charge them, they're not gonna pick up the courthouse anymore. So we're just dumping the
Okay.
streets. Oops,
Oh, boy.
we're recorded, aren't we?
That's all right. I mean, if they don't wanna, they're the ones that started this problem in the first place.
Yep.
You know, so, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here doing all this.
Here, I'll start on that.
And, I just think that, you know, they're not gonna use it for free, I can tell you that.
No. I gave them a price, they didn't like it, so I discussed it.
That's all I got.
Aaron, while you're there, I think we need to, looks to me like a congratulations and store and thank you. I know. no one
Yeah,
knows
I was just reading
National
that.
Slag Association. LaGrange County, because of that gentleman, has been considered the last 3 years, how'd they put that? Is leading the way in how they have dialed up chip seal over the last 3 years. It's pretty darn good for a county our size.
Yeah. I'm just happy to get
That's
some.
national, that's not
Yeah.
state.
No, it's just, you know, you could tell that because the complaints that I used to get, I don't get anymore about chip and seal.
Yeah, we had 0 windshield complaints this year, and that's a huge accomplishment for everyone, and it's
I mean, it doesn't fly around like the little pea gravel stuff does.
Thank you very much.
It was a team effort, but appreciate that.
Led by you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron.
Connie,
Oh, sure. Hi, Connie J.
We're
Brown.
looking at, again, switching credit card companies because we're having a lot of problems with getting the compost site set up with the mobile reader and so forth. I've been working with Mark and Kevin on this. So we're looking again back to the one that I had looked at prior that we ran into a bunch of problems with the contract. Thank you. We're now to the point where they have turned Kurt's suggestions over to their legal team to see about switching things. So if they're willing to go with that, then we will be switching the tax end of it.
It's a debit
And
block thing.
the compost will be going through the new system.
what's
So
their big hang up?
there's a bunch of
Lot.
stuff. There's more red on that contract.
It's the
Block.
biggest issue is the debit block though.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about them not just jerking money out of her
Yeah.
treasury?
Oh, where they can't take it
And
back.
we had that all figured out well.
Well, it sounds like they are willing to, they had been telling us 4.35, or 2.35, which now the fee is 2.5 that gets passed on to the,
And we have an ordinance that
Consumer.
allows her to pass it on.
yes. Now they are going to absorb the fees for the compost area, and the fees would be 2.45% instead of 2.35%. Because when the way their system is set up, if you use a mobile device to use the credit card, which would be at the compost site, there's no way for the fee to be passed on to the consumer. We would have to absorb the fee, and we can't do that. So they would absorb the fee, but the fee would go up to 2.45 instead of 2.35. So I thought that seems like that would be significant because that would not just be on the compost site, that would also be on the tax side. So I thought, that seems like that would be significant. So I ran the credit cards on the tax side that we've done for the year and took that times that 0.1%, and it's only $880. So it's not a significant amount that they're coming out ahead, and it's going to make it doable for us, whereas the other way it wouldn't be.
Thank you.
So that's where we stand on that. So we're still working with that. If you guys want to open the compost site before this takes place, we can still do it with PayGov, but everyone's going to have to take that phone and manually punch in their card information. There's not going to be a reader that will work.
Their equipment's, their outfit's very antiquated, I guess, the best way to put it.
So
Yeah, like 15 years.
All right.
We just
Okay.
gave up on it.
any questions?
You don't have anything for Tuesday?
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Connie.
Susan, Sheila, Mary.
I sent you an email this morning. One of the things listed in the ADA transition plan for the parks is new drinking fountain at Pine Knob. So I have 3 quotes, and I'd like to ask, I'd like to go with the lowest one, $6,706.34, and out of the commissioner's ADA funds.
What kind of a drinking fountain station is this? Is this-
It's the dual height so it meets ADA, and then it has a bottle filler too.
okay.
Normal, outdoor, the green.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll see you Monday on that.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, that's right.
Maybe Monday.
And you do have funds set aside in edits,
Yeah,
EDA funds.
Be a quick meeting if we do it Monday.
I know. Travis? Gary?
Want to talk about courthouse lawn. a little
Yeah,
bit.
since you told them it was my decision only, so these
Well,
guys didn't have anything to do with it. I can do that, I guess.
never
I'll
thought
give
I'd-
you your $20 later.
we use it. Never thought I'd be standing up here talking about the lawn, but it's been quite an issue.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with a solution to accommodate LaGrange County. We look at the courthouse as the main focal point of the town. Everybody does. We have fundraisers that they use our lawn. We have revivals out here that use our lawn. We have sermons, church sermons that use our lawn. We have weddings, you name it, there's out here. And the big thing is farmers market. It's been a big controversial here in the last few weeks or months. I trying to come up with a solution. I talked to Jenny for a little bit about it, and she came up with a good idea, and I gave that a lot of thought, and it was a good idea. And I'm going to go back to the farmers market, for instance. If you look around the courthouse, we've got sidewalks everywhere, all the way around the sidewalk, or around the courthouse, I mean. And so a good solution that would be is to, and I have no problem if somebody wants to put up an 8x8 or a 10x10 little pop-up tent for the day. I cringe a little bit when they put stakes in the ground, big time, because of the irrigation system. It has been damaged once. I didn't know about it for a couple of weeks until I had a mound of dirt on my yard. Figured out I had a broken irrigation system, so I got that fixed. That's what I cringe about, using stakes. And I don't know how people are ever. And so, reverting back to farmers market, if you look on the south side, we have sidewalks going to southeast, southwest, straight south. If they was to put their tent up, little pop-up tent, whatever you want to call it, right on the edge of the sidewalks. So that way when people come to the farmers market, they can walk right down the sidewalk and do whatever they want to do. The vendor's sitting in the grass. He's not doing or she's not doing nothing. They're just sitting there, minding their business, and people come and walking down the sidewalk. I get it why they want to do it. I understand, because sometimes it may sprinkle, it may rain or whatever. It's hot. They have baked goods. They don't want stuff to melt, what have you. And plus, it frees up Spring Street. The parking is right there on Spring Street. People come. I understand they feel like by parking on Spring Street, they're going to get better business, more business that way. But, and as far as, I'll give you a good example for Saturday. I had an ordeal Saturday, because starting January of next year, January and February, my phone rings off the hook. People are calling me already scheduling for the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And so a few months back, I had a guy call and wanted to schedule a gazebo. No problem. We can do that. So I got it wrote down on the calendar. And come to find out, it was a full blown out wedding. I'd known nothing about it. So that kind of ticked me off a little bit because they used the whole entire south side of the lawn for $10. and they got away pretty cheap. And I didn't know nothing about a wedding because if I would have known it was going to be a wedding, I would have been in here asking you commissioners for permission, but I didn't know that. It was only supposed to be gazebo and gazebo only, but they threw a curveball my way. So I would like to come up with some type of form on paper and give it to the person who's going to rent the gazebo out and have a list of things to go by, and they're going to sign it. End of discussion. And I don't want to go no. And if they want to have a wedding, I think we ought to charge them $100. If the church wants to have a sermon out here, I think it ought to be $100. And on and on and on. And as far as little bouncy houses, I don't want no bouncy houses because I don't know how you're going to hold them down without driving a stake in the ground. You know, and so going forward with this, we've got Final Friday coming up this Friday. We have Light of LaGrange coming up on the first weekend of September, and then Corn School after that. And Corn School, that will never end in any of our lifetime. That'll go on forever. And they ruin the lawn more than everybody combined. It's like a herd of cattle going through there for a whole week. It is what it is. We have to live with it, deal with it. It is what it is. You know, I just got to spend a little bit of extra money on lawn care. We can do that. But that's my proposal. I'd like to have something come up on paper. I would like to get with HR Jenny and help me out on that. Maybe we can come up with a form for them to read, look at, sign, and go for there. And
Well, we're going to have to, this is going to have to be brought up at a public meeting because I can tell you right now, I am not for it because I can tell you why. Now we're going to let anybody who wants to have something on that courthouse lawn have it. The Democratic Party wanted something on there. We told them no. Now they can go there and have their thing on the party. If the KKK wants to come in, they can have theirs on that party on the lawn because you can't stop anybody. If you're going to let everybody on there, everybody's going to get on there.
everybody was going to get on. I agree.
You know, I have a problem with that because I think the farmer's market, if it stayed farmer's market, it'd probably be all right, but it's eventually going to turn into flea market stuff.
If I had my choice, I'd just say no to everything, but I can't do that.
Well, the courthouse lawn, to my opinion, is not to have functions and things like that out there, bouncy houses, all that stuff. I don't see that as a courthouse. It's a government facility, a building. It should be kept that way. But you know, it's just my opinion. They got two other guys up here that if they want to allow it, but we'll bring it up at Tuesday's meeting and we'll put it to a vote because I've already been accused of making the decision for everybody. I was called a liar on the phone by this individual, and I just didn't take that well.
I just quit entertaining him. I got
So,
my phone call too, and I stopped entertaining him because I told him no.
Yeah, well, I'm over it. So the way I was treated on the phone the other day was just not right because it was all my fault. So,
Thank you.
yeah. So we'll bring it up on Tuesday and we'll decide if they want to do it. It's either all or nothing.
Okay, but we got some things coming up, and then I don't have anything else on the calendar for the rest of the year. And then hopefully starting next year, it'll be a new ball game.
The Corn School issue, I mean, they rent a gazebo, they use that. And people walk on the courthouse. I don't have a problem with people walking on the courthouse. You know, they walk on it all the time. It's just a large amount that day, and it's usually towards the front of it here. But we don't have a bunch of vendors surrounding the courthouse during Corn School. So it's just a gazebo and their stands out there for that week. So.
Okay. Bring it out Tuesday.
Yep. Sheriff.
I was just gonna get ready to do that.
The only thing I have for Monday, I'd like to,
Tuesday.
yes. Just bring up, trying to come up with a different idea for our county ordinance for work release. We got a final meeting over in Steuben today. There's a possibility that they will be terminating their work release program. Community corrections, they'll continue that, but funding is a problem over there. So we'll see how that meeting turns out today. And then no changes on ours other than I got a couple ideas as far as
What's the reason why they're closing theirs? Because of community corrections?
funding. Yeah. Yeah. So the community corrections will still continue.
Yeah.
with the home detention, but, we're pretty strict on our work release program over here as far as the offenses that we take in.
Mhm.
So that's something that we'll be looking at and possibly making some minor adjustments to try to help them out. Especially if we have some that work, between here and Middlebury, we have a lot of the factory workers. They've talked about moving some of them down to DeKalb, which is going to really inconvenience a lot of the ones that are employed. So, but yeah, so I just have that for Monday, and then we'll see what the meeting brings today over in Steuben.
I have a question that relates to, July 1, they passed that new statute that allows for, if you have officers that you've trained that get taken by another department, get reimbursed, and or if there's a private security firm that takes his trained officers, get reimbursed. But in order to do so, there's a notice and a new form contract that the state came up with. Don't know if you want to do this or not, but it requires signatures and a notice periodically when you hire a new person that's been through the academy, et cetera. So periodically you'll have this notice and you'll have this contract that would need to be signed if you want to take advantage of this reimbursement program. I don't know if you do or don't, but if you do, effective July 1, we now have to have those notices and those agreements signed every time. So I don't know if you want to implement that program. If you do, we should do something Tuesday or someday.
I guess it'd be up to the sheriff. I mean, he's lost an officer due because of that.
Yeah, I think we could move forward on that and then bring it up Tuesday.
I'll bring it up.
Okay, Tuesday.
Well, yeah, I mean, you send somebody to all that training, spend all that money, and they leave right away. You want to get their money back.
It's not cheap.
It's not.
No, and what's cool about the law is it not only applies to other municipalities taking your people.
Right,
It applies to private security firms that
Mhm.
take your people. So
Yeah, with the cost of the academy training, the last one we were just under 10,000 that were out. So
Yeah.
okay, I'll bring it up.
okay, yep, sounds good. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
That's good.
Anything, Juan? Who at? Purdue?
We do
You
have.
got to come up here. Sorry.
Jeff.
Since it's all recorded now on audio and video and
Yeah.
4-H position has been advertised. That's it.
Thank you.
thanks.
There you go.
You need to stretch your legs anyway, right? Mark?
This is the one I want to know.
Oh,
I just need to bring up for agenda. I've got, need to purchase 2 big all-in-one units, the Canon printers, one for our public defender's office, since we're wrapping that one up, which I just finished up, running all the network lines, and that's all terminated and tested, good to go. And then the other one is to replace the assessor's, all-in-one unit. That's something that slipped past me and everything. So, each of them are $4,667 and some change, which altogether be $9,335.78, which I have funds for.
I have no problem with the assessor, my public defender.
Mhm.
Is that out of your budget? Or do they have a budget to cover
Be out
that?
of mine. Yeah,
Don't
we've
they-
done that for all the other printers. and
I know,
stuff.
but they should have money there for,
We're spending more money.
we shouldn't get money reimbursed in that for that, anything to buy with equipment that, Kathy, wasn't that?
They have a
Part of it?
budget to cover that.
I don't know if that would be a qualified expense they could get reimbursed out of, but no matter who pays for it, they should be able to get reimbursed for it.
Because I thought that that included equipment and things like that. So you might want to check with them.
With him. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't, they need to be paying for some of this.
No problem. I'll go with him.
For all of it.
Robbie? Jenny?
I have a question for executive session.
Bill? Nothing? Alf? Kathy?
I do. We have the contract for the fixed assets that we maintain. The cost for next year will be $4,300. It went up less than $100 over the 25 contract. That's one of the things we are required to keep good control. And I think we've got good control, and everybody just loves it when we start contacting them with a list.
Yeah.
Please verify. Very clean audit this time. Nothing weird is out there. They even have that piece of bulletproof glass that was downstairs, is sitting somewhere in Gary's office, I guess. And they wanted to see it, and we still had it, so. But anyway, it's a contract to,
We'll give it to the prosecutor's office. They put us an antique in their office or something and show it to people. If your predecessor wanted it.
You can touch that one.
Just put it in the elevator. You won't be overweight.
Anything else, Kathy? Kathy, what do we have in the Lambert Farm money? Is there anything in there to spend? Do we have anything set aside this
I
year?
don't know what the appropriations are. I'm almost positive that we have some, but I don't know the dollar figure. I
Okay.
can't look right now, but
I was gonna ask you guys, I wanted to get a couple more things for the veterans hunt, if that was all right. So I'll bring some prices to you.
You bring it on Tuesday?
If I can get them by then, yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll get the money. if you figure
Okay.
it out.
Kurt, what you have?
Nothing that,
Nothing?
unless you have questions for me, all the things I'm working on, I have a list of and don't see any need to discuss them at this time,
Okay.
unless you want to.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think it's just, if we can get this firmed up, I mean,
Yeah, you guys have
I
any
have-
suggestions?
I have no problem
I
with
know,
these prices. I mean, the larger trailer, I mean, some of them trailers that they
That'd be
pull, some of those
discretion.
commercial ones pull in are 25 foot long.
yeah.
So you might want to go those the same as the dump truck. I don't
That's what
know.
I was thinking, the same as the dump truck. I know, if I remember correctly, somebody told me down in Kendallville, the contractors, they pay a yearly pass of like $200, I think. And they get to use it. I don't know. Do you know anything about that, Aaron? Did you check with them? Like the landscape guys and that, use it all the time. So, but
I looked at our website, couldn't find anything.
no, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, those landscape trailers, when they come in, lawn clippings and everything, they're
Mhm. The only question I got, it says logs 8 feet long. Is that up to 8 feet long?
Yeah, up to
Up to
18
feet,
inch.
okay. So nothing longer than 8 foot and nothing bigger than 18 inches. Okay, just making sure.
They have
I
a
thought
tape
that's
out
what.
there.
yeah, because that really damages the equipment that gets
Oh yeah.
tore up out
It
there.
gets-
That was one of the biggest complaints I got from the solid waste district on that.
Big
so,
logs. There's places that can take them, but
Yeah,
really, if they're bigger than that, they need to go over to Ashley.
yeah,
Oh, you say Ashley?
that's where they have to go if they're bigger. But they can do the 8-footers and that's it.
He has
so,
signs made out there that
okay.
list everything.
If we get somebody hired on that, if you guys, who wants to do the interview, you want to,
Unless you guys want to do it, you're more than welcome to.
no?
Oh, Aaron and I
Will that work?
will take care of it.
You guys are working on it all along, so
We got
let's
some
finish
good
it.
We've got a lot of good applications.
Yeah, I've seen some good ones in there, so, but yeah. All right, you guys, anything?
I have nothing.
All right, thanks for coming.